Struggling to let go of the past or ready to embark on a journey of self-love, longing for a fresh new start, but not sure exactly where to begin? Our next guest might just have a few of those answers. Author and poet Diego Perez, best known as Yung Pueblo, is teaching us how to become a better version of ourselves. In his latest and most intimate book, Lighter, Let Go of the Past, Connect with the Present, Expand the Future, he explores the path toward growth and releasing old burdens. Yung Pueblo joins us now to discuss how to heal with compassion and let go of the fears that surround us. Yung Pueblo, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Lindsay.
So cultivating self-awareness, that's really a central theme of the book. And I want to just start by paraphrasing how you lead off. You say, pick the path that lights you up, the one you know deep down is the right choice. Stop listening to doubt. Start connecting with courage. Lean into the real you. How does one even find or start to find their true self?
You know, it's difficult. I think that question just makes me think back to how it all sort of started for me personally, where I just didn't know who I was at all. You know, I was totally lost and had, you know, from coming to this country, being born in Ecuador, and I got here when I was about 4 years old, it was a pretty rough start. And I had developed a lot of nasty habits that, you know, added up into drug addiction and almost losing my life at a pretty young age. In that moment where I almost lost my life, I realized that I need to just build self-awareness, that I need to figure out a way to make my mind lighter. And for me personally, it was through meditation. But there are a lot of ways that you can build self-awareness.
And you talked about a bit of that drug abuse. Tell me about the emotional toll that took on your body and then how you ultimately were able to release those demons, if you will.
Yeah, it's sort of, you know, while we were here in the United States, we were in quite the poverty trap. My mother, she worked cleaning houses. My father, he worked in a supermarket. And a lot of that fear that they had trying to figure out how to pay rent every month, how to get groceries for the family, it really impacted me as well. And I developed so much fear, so much anxiety, and it snowballed into these, you know, quite nasty habits that, where, you know, one particular night, I just took way too many drugs and almost basically had a mild heart attack and almost passed away. And now I feel like I have a new opportunity, and that's why I started writing, to really and hopefully inspire other people to know that they can heal as well.
Was that moment rock bottom for you, where you decided, I've got to do something different?
Totally. It was the epitome of rock bottom. And I knew that what had gotten me there was that I had spent so much time running away from these tough emotions that I was feeling. I was being dishonest with myself. And I knew that to get out of there, I had to really start telling myself the truth.
How did you end up starting to use social media as an outlet?
That came about when I did my silent 10-day course, the third one, because I've been meditating pretty seriously now for about 10 years. I realized that the healing was real, that I was actually seeing significant changes in my mind. And about a year after that, I knew that it was time to start writing, time to start sharing. Like, even though I wasn't fully healed, I wasn't fully wise, I still had a long way to go in terms of my personal journey. It felt like the right time to just start sharing. And I went to Instagram because that's just where everyone was at the time.
And as far as chapter 8, you really focus on the obstacles, the hurdles, if you will, toward healing, but the importance and necessity to get rid of and let go of your old self. How does one do that, and why is it so necessary?
It's quite necessary. I mean, oftentimes we don't realize that when a difficult situation happens, we will react to that situation in the way that we would have in the past. So let's say if a situation reminds of something that happened before, then our old anger will just come up, or our old fear. So learning how to sort of pause and let yourself intentionally come forward and show up a way that feels genuine to you now, as opposed to who you were before, I think that's a critical skill to develop. I think for a lot of people, that can either arise from taking meditation seriously or through some form of therapy, one-on-one.
Any recommendations for practices or exercises we could do on a daily routine basis to try to get rid of some bad habits?
I think one of the most valuable things that we can do as individuals is remind ourselves that everything is impermanent. One of the biggest struggles that we have is that we reject impermanence, and we cause ourselves so much mental struggle when that happens. When we realize that everything is impermanent, we can better weather the storms. And at the same time, when we realize that everything is impermanent, we can better show up in the present with the ones that we love.
A lot of your book, you're asking the readers questions. What would you hope that the greatest takeaway would be from someone who picks up your book?
I think the greatest takeaway is hopefully inspiration to learn a tool. I think, letting go, it's not easy as saying, okay, this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is how to let go. But each modality, each sort of technique will have its own peculiarities. So find something that is challenging to you, but not overwhelming. And we're lucky to live in a time where there are just so many different tools available to us.
Diego, we thank you so much for joining us and want to let our viewers know that Lighter, Let Go of the Past, Connect with the Present, Expand the Future is now available wherever books are sold.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.